Our final reader this evening is Amy Wright. Amy is the author of 2 chapbooks, There Are No New Ways to Kill a Man and Farm. Those are 2 different books. She's the nonfiction editor of Zone 3 Press and assistant professor of creative writing at Austin Peay State University. Please join me in welcoming Professor Amy Wright.
If there are no new ways to kill a man, there might be new reasons. Those are getting all the time. This is from Prose Translations of Emily Dickinson, so I'm going to begin by reading Emily Dickinson's poem, Joy to have merited the pain. Joy to have merited the pain, to merit the release. Joy to have perished every step, to compass paradise. Pardon to look upon thy face with these old-fashioned eyes, better than new could be for that, though bought in paradise. Because they looked on thee before, and thou hast looked on them, prove me, my hazel witnesses, the features are the same. So fleet thou wert when present, so infinite when gone, in Orient's apparition, remanded of the morn. The height I recollect was even with the hills. The depth upon my soul was notched, as floods on whites of wheels. To haunt till time have dropped his last decade away, and haunting actualize to last at least eternity. E.D. has accessed emotions rare as a working railroad lamp. One tends to think of emotions as common, universal, democratic. They are not. There are graves we do not have the words for, unlabeled bottles that remain uncorked for generations. Pain is one of them few can savor. It takes a certain kind of metal to merit it. Not wait for it to pass, more than enduring, to know it, to look upon its face and wonder. Sometimes a child will stop crying suddenly, as if he has just heard the sound of his own wailing, like a foghorn in the distance. Many are the attributes of worship at that altar of humankind. One drawn to the words she opens with might assume it was the goal, but joy is not the end, and it is only one of the means. E.D. has learned the formula by which we are so ill-matched. If joy brings hills and highways when present, she leaves you holed up with the waft of her elusive scent when gone. It is not emotions E.D. is after, but thy face. Pardon, she excuses her old-fashioned eyes, and is excused for her mistake. 3 pardons are at work in one dizzying word. There is the pardon she begs herself for not having known the wealth of pain, the pardon of etiquette for having been so small of sight, and the pardon that cleans her vision better than those eyes new bought in paradise, for having seen. Not to know the turning wheel is not to know the floods. Pain does not descend in parallel image of the high hills of joy to the nadir of a cavern or valley bed. It drilled a well. The mill dips and returns a watery glimpse of permanence. Paradise grown immeasurable by the walk. She's teaching me a lot as I slowly meditate and work my way through these poems, but I begin by not understanding it all. That's what I'm realizing is the secret to everything. If you ask those questions that you do not know the answer to, and you keep asking, and keep asking, just asking is useful. One cannot live without hope. This is from There Are No New Ways to Kill a Man. One cannot live without hope. Eliot was wrong about that. But hope cannot be the thing, just as the end cannot. The thing is the thing, and the waiting. One need only change a tire to crest the newest horizon, expecting everything of us, everything and nothing. You either love yourself or you don't. By the time you're 35, you do. You just do. And this one is 17. This is from Farm, and one of the things that's happening here is Amyntas has left her husband, and so now she's taken up with Song, who was hurrying the horses. And so Amyntas and Song have a daughter no one can see. Holland lies in the grass and is the grass, climbs into the ladle of the sycamore and is the gravy. She alights in the spine with a blanket cape, dallies in hallways thinking no one can see her. Reasons she might as well have a bird. Names it Wendy. Suddenly got a lot of characters here at the end of the farm. Wendy is an Indian mynah bird who, unlike most birds, moves with a jaunty walk rather than the standard hop. Holland teaches her words. She teaches her to say, "I am chocolatey," and "Excuse me, please, but where did you get that face ache?" And unendurable, as in teaching a mynah bird to say unendurable is hard enough to be its own good joke. Holland is abandoned, good and bad. She cries out like an animal, tastes her bathwater, ambushes sheep. They're very easy to ambush, sheep. The adults look at her, looking into her Cheerios, and are brave, having allowed something capable of destroying them. And it is those who find themselves in love with the world who suffer. And it is those who climb the stage of another body who fall away. And this is another one of Emily Dickinson's poems called Missing All. The missing all prevented me from missing minor things. If nothing larger than a world's departure from a hinge or sun's extinction be observed, 'twas not so large that I could lift my forehead from my work for curiosity. If the study of a great poet seem from the outside, seem myopic, it is not boring. However microscopic the examination be, it is ever calling out of larger-than-life vacancy. What unhinged world competes with the internal? It would take a canyon appearing in Amherst, according to E.D. Emotion alters the perception. One might be too joyous or morose to notice a friend's sliced finger or eyes aglow with early pregnancy, or one might be so attuned to grief he finds it in the cattails. Pathetic fallacy, I teach my students. But obsession also focuses the attention more precisely. The speaker is grateful she has been prevented from missing minor things. The ache has spared her from others, made petty by comparison. It did not prevent her receiving minor things. She likely caught her share of rainbows, but the missing all is all-consuming, and she is nigh imperturbable, spellbound, well past mere curiosity, unless the happening be apocalyptic. Absence has manifested a persona. If it blinded her to the distraction of a lost knitting needle or two-day fever, it bowed her forehead over her desk in testament to the unseen monopoly that drives creation. Pity the salmon. There is no fount for the singular river but the roiling heart. Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us this evening. The readers will be available for a Q&A session virtually. It's a conference call that you can sign up for on our website. It's free at hercircleeasing.com, and that will be Monday evening at 7 p.m. If you leave and you think of questions, if you watch this video online, and you think of some questions that you would like to ask the readers, you can sign up for that free opportunity to pick their brains and see what they might have to say about how they created this work. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Please enjoy the refreshments, mix and mingle, and we appreciate you supporting women's literature and the arts.